It has been one of the best home court advantages in all of college basketball in the last few years. Thompson-Boling Arena, home of the Tennessee Vols, as the Volunteers play host to the South Carolina Gamecocks. Mike Morgan, Pat Bradley with you here on a Saturday afternoon. Two coaches who know each other very well and have a whole lot of respect for one another, Rick Barnes and Frank Martin, and no doubt both these coaches know how important this game is. Pat Bradley, both these teams have something in common. They have one of the better inside-out combinations.
Well, you see John Fulkerson, one of the most physical inside players we have in the SEC. He is key for Tennessee to get into the lane, to get some easy scoring opportunities, and Jordan Bowden has taken on a different role this year. He is looking to score for this Tennessee team, coming off tight screens, hit his jump shot.
And meanwhile, for the South Carolina Gamecocks, it all starts with Mike Kotsar doing all the dirty work.
There's no doubt the big fella is big, strong, left-handed, and he does all that dirty work inside, likes to attack with that left hand strong. A.J. Lawson is the straw that stirs the drink for South Carolina. He's so quick coming downhill, impossible to stay in front of him. Frank Martin's going to look for ways to get him in transition to get some easy scoring opportunities against a tough Tennessee defense.
I think it's safe to say both these teams are trying to find their identities. This Tennessee program lost a lot of production for the last couple of years. No more Williams, no more Schofield and Bone. They're still trying to find out just what they are this year. And for the Gamecocks, some higher expectations coming into this season. Frank Martin will be the first one to tell you he is disappointed with the way they have started out. Big game for you today in Knoxville. Tennessee in white, Carolina in black. Volunteers have it first. We are underway. Another great crowd here in Knoxville. Vescovi. Inside, it's Fulkerson. Size advantage on Bolden, and Fulkerson gets it to rattle home.
Now, Coach Barnes will talk about what he wants to come out with immediately, and that's some misdirection. Make that move, make that defense move, isolate Fulkerson in the block. That's what Tennessee wants to get back to, is getting points in the paint. They had an inability of doing that in the last few games. That's a good start.
Turnover on the Gamecocks. You saw the starting five. That starting five combined for 60 of the 68 points against Florida. The problem more over than the offense was the defense against the Gators. And the starting five for Tennessee, including Josiah James, product from South Carolina, McDonald's All-American, starting to heat up now in his freshman year. So back-to-back turnovers, Tennessee with the early lead.
That's part of my road recipe for South Carolina. They average less than 14 turnovers a game, but you've got against a Tennessee team that's going to slow it down for you. You've got to value the ball. That's a big thing. A.J. Lawson early on showing a lot of explosiveness. That's a good sign. High percentage shots. Great timing by Jordan Bowden. Well, I'm going to tell you, this is going to be tough on one end. Jordan Bowden's going to make some shots, and well, he's on Minaya now, but he's switched back on Lawson. That's a tough cover.
Bolden pulls up, left elbow, too strong. Coming away with a rebound. Vescovi.
Oh, I like this kid. He couldn't see. Watch how he change of speed, change of direction.
And a lefty knocks down to three. He hit 6 in this first game against LSU, and they love what he brings to the table.
Oh, there's no very, very smart player. You saw him right there. He probes the defense. Another unfortunate turnover there.
And Lawson called for another carry. Frank Martin was very candid with us in a long talk yesterday during their walkthrough. You see what he's done. 3 of the last 4 years, they have finished top 4 in the SEC record-wise, including the Final Four. But this is a big year for Frank Martin. That's a big slam dunk by Fulkerson on the feed from Vescovi.
Executed perfectly. They were working on that today in their walkthrough. Vescovi comes off that high ball screen. And again, Frank Martin does the same action to free up Kotsar on the other end.
Kotsar on the dive with an easy bucket. He has been sensational in his senior year. He's playing over 30 minutes a game.
Watch how both teams, you see the spacing on each corner that allows their point guard to come off that high ball screen.
Pons lines up a 3. Flying in for the board is Minaya. A.J. Lawson picked by the coaches preseason first team all-conference. Hasn't had a bad year, but certainly not the year many expected. And another, that's 4 turnovers already on Carolina. And you see Rick Barnes now in his 5th year, 33rd year overall as a Division I head coach. 7 Sweet 16s, the Final 4 at Texas, 24 NCAA tournaments. They've already got a top 5 recruiting class lined up for next season. Will this be a rebuild, or will this be a Tennessee team that heats up as time moves along? James on a blow by. Up top, it's Bowden launching a 3. Kicks out, offensive rebound, Pons. Pons lost it out of bounds. Gamecock basketball.
That was an athletic move by Keyshawn Bryant. My goodness. He gets up quick and he gets up strong. Right there, Jordan Bowden's not going to miss many of those. South Carolina's got to know where he's going to be at all times, because he has the opportunity, the ability to light it up quick.
Quickly in the game, Couisnard for Carolina, who Frank Martin says is essentially like a starter. He's going to log starter minutes for him. They need him on offense. Gamecock's a little bit shaky on the offensive end here. Moss up top, Minaya. Now Couisnard on a 3. Gets it to go, nothing but net. And that's why Frank Martin loves him playing extra minutes. They did not have him against Florida, had a back injury, so good to see him back in the lineup for Frank Martin.
And they'll have to find someone to make some outside shots, just because Tennessee's defense is so connected.
Out of contact down low, and that'll be a foul on Tennessee.
Good job there. The flying Frenchman, Yves Pons, Keyshawn Bryant. I mean, I think he jumped from about the elbow area, and we just don't have the camera angle to catch where he jumps from and where he lands. Tennessee has done this in the past to South Carolina. Give them some pressure up front, try to get them to run their offense at about 22 seconds, 21 seconds. And it's about tempo. Tennessee wants to slow it down, grind it out, especially in this half court.
Couisnard down there. Rejected by Pons. Second leading shot blocker in the league. Bryant has it blocked. Gets it back. Shot clock to 5. Pons rebounds the miss. Wide open, Johnson on a 3. Offensive rebound, Bowden. Tennessee on a reset. Bowden. Good job by Kotsar to wall up without fouling. 3 ball from the corner, and the Gamecocks starting to heat up now. That's Couisnard with a second 3.
And you see how quick they can get up the floor. Great job on defensive rebound. Got your runners in the lane. Couisnard straight to the corner, catch and shoot.
Gamecocks on an 8-0 run. Fulkerson goes to work on Kotsar. Left it short. And a late whistle. Kotsar called for the foul.
Great job as Vescovi comes off that high ball screen to John Fulkerson. Great pass, on time, on target. So, up 1.
You leave it to me. I'll get your taxes in an okay place.
What?
Well, just as soon as my audit is over, this gets my undivided attention.
Take a lot of trips to the Caymans, Phil.
Pretty great, right? Oh, Phil's legally dead. Fell off a boat. Going by Dennis now. Solari. Long story. Then we got, oh, no, you're not going to want to see this.
I don't think this is going to work.
Just okay is not okay. AT&T has America's best network, now with our best plans at our best prices, starting at $35 a line for 4 lines, new from AT&T.
Take yourself to the islands with Zaxby's Caribbean Jerk Boneless Wings with the tropical blend of mango, habanero, and exotic island spices. The Caribbean Jerk Boneless Wings and new filet sandwich meal. 2 more reasons you're going to get a kick out of Zaxby's.
Guys, it's that time, and nothing's happening. Well, now there's Score from Force Factor to rev your libido and maximize physical response. It's no wonder Walmart offers Score in more locations than any other performance enhancer. Unleash your potential in the bedroom with Score.
I started noticing losing my hair in my 20s.
I was like, yeah, my hairline is definitely starting to recede.
Like
Is this happening to me now?
What really stuck out about Roman to me was the simplicity aspect.
I was able to talk to a doctor on the phone.
I could just do it right from home.
My relationship with my hair is fantastic. We're good friends now.
It makes me feel a lot more confident.
I love my new hair.
The things I love about Roman are the simplicity, the confidentiality, and the fact that it works.
The SEC Network Basketball is brought to you by Zaxby's. Hand-breaded chicken and fresh ingredients made to order only at Zaxby's. Bill Fulmer and company celebrating a Gator Bowl victory. Jeremy Pruitt, of course, the head coach. They won the last 6 football games. Jeremy Pruitt going to join us later on in the half as we welcome you back courtside here. Mike Morgan alongside the sharpshooter Pat Bradley. And Pat, the interesting thing about this Gamecock team, they've actually played much better on the road. They've shot better. They've won more games on the road overall. So maybe they're just comfortable away from home.
Yeah, it's funny how sometimes teams may be more comfortable there. But I do think what's key for South Carolina, and I talk to you about my road recipe quite often, the number one thing is value the ball, take care of the ball. They've done that typically in the games that they have played well on the road. They started out with a few early turnovers, but they've been able to get out in transition, make shots. And that's the other part of the road recipe is you've got to create high percentage shots. How is that done? Layups, dunks, free throws, which they've gotten a couple, and be ready to catch and shoot for some open threes and compete on the glass. And we know Frank Martin's teams are always going to do that.
2 of their biggest wins of the season against Virginia and Clemson, both of those on the road and both in convincing fashion. So every now and then a team, particularly if you're under a little bit of duress, sometimes it's good to get away from home.
Yeah, there's no question. Change up the scenery a little bit, you know, get in a hotel room, get some free pay-per-view movies.
They got a rooftop restaurant at the new hotel here in Knoxville.
Living the life.
More than we have.
That's right.
Bryant cut off, finds Kotsar inside. He's triple team, sets up Minai on a 3. And that's an oxygen ball fired up by Justin Minai, who's really struggled. 38 from the field, 21 from 3. Frank Martin says he just needs to get his confidence back.
Well, and he will. He can make that shot. You just saw the value of Mike Kotsar right there. He's strong with the ball. He's a very good passer. He didn't even see the defense. He felt the defense, knew where to get it. Minaya will make that shot. He's had games where he's made multiple threes this year.
Meanwhile, Tennessee hasn't hit a field goal in 4 minutes. Pounded by Bryant. Goes to Johnson. And tipped away. Kusnar diving for the loose ball, scooped up by Moss, and they're going to call a foul on Moss.
And watch South Carolina's defense. What they want to deny a lot, okay? So you're denying the elbow, you're denying the block, you're getting out in passing lanes. What that is going to have to make Tennessee do, you got to run hard offense. I'm talking hard cuts, hard screens, be tough with the ball. Nobody does it better than Rick Barnes' Tennessee teams. I mean, it's beautiful to watch when they're coming tight off the screens, helping each other, moving the ball. You're going to have to do all that and then some against this South Carolina defense.
Gamecock's familiar tight man-to-man. Vescovi trying to find space, launches up a 3, in and out. The pride of Uruguay.
Yes, and he just came, of course, on about a week ago, but we've seen him come off that ball screen, Mike, with his right hand, his left hand, show you the level of skill he has already. Very comfortable shooting off that right hand, coming off that high ball screen.
Rick Barnes told us he wasn't actually eligible to play until the LSU game, but he was studying that playbook. And by the time he was on the floor, he was already leading the way on what to do both ends of the floor. He's just one of those guys that quickly gets it.
Well, you know, a lot of the European players are fortunate enough to play against older players a lot of times. So when they do get to college, they've already played against men for a few years. Great curl right there by Joe James.
Pons on a drive and draws contact and a foul.
You know what I love, though, Mike? We're going to see this a lot. See how T.J. Moss is just getting picked up off the floor right there. That is just a defense that is aware. We're closing down the lane. Nothing easy. Get to the rim. Protect the rim. Give up your body a little bit. Nothing wrong with that.
Second foul on Moss. And now one of the 7 lefties on the roster for Tennessee. Yves Pons misses the first free throw.
Got to be a record.
I've never heard of more. I know Georgia had a lot of them last year. They had about 6. So if you are a lefty, if you're a southpaw, Tennessee is your team this year. I think the Professor Pat is going to break down that scientifically later on.
Well, there's something to it. There's something to it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
I know you've been in the lab working on all that data
I got
to support it.
A new shipment of books in I've been reading up on.
Got a 2-point game, under 14 to go, first half. Trey Hannibal in the game. Here's Lawson, guarded by Bowden. Two of the top guards in the SEC right there. Kotsar splits a double and draws a block foul. So aggressive this year. That's not what we saw first couple of years out of the senior, but Mike Kotsar knows he has to be more assertive. They're not getting points from a whole lot of other sources right now.
And he's been their answer the last few games from an offensive standpoint. Frank Martin's got to be happy with that offensive possession. Again, Tennessee is one of the most connected defensive teams with communication. They have great length, Pons and Joe James. But the player movement, ball movement is what makes that defense shift. Kotsar, good job finding the gap.
Tennessee, the number 2 scoring defense in the SEC. Opponents averaging under 60 points a game. It's been tough to come by in this first half. Bad pass, deflected up. Kotsar comes away with it and gets the bucket plus the foul.
Sometimes it's better to be luckier than good. Right place at the right time, Mike Kotsar. But you saw, again, the length, Tennessee's length, getting their hands in the passing lanes. One of the top leader in steals in the SEC. Loose ball, Kotsar, as we talked about before, that inside physical presence. He's always going to find himself around the rim, and good things happen when you do that.
Kotsar, the senior out of Estonia. We can learn a lot of world geography with this matchup. You've got foreign players all over the place in this game.
Kotsar competed in the 3-on-3 competition for the Olympics.
Yeah.
How about that? We still may have a shot, 3-on-3, making the Olympics.
I've already submitted the resume.
Atta kid. Who's our third?
That's a good question. Somebody really good, I hope.
Yes.
And in shape.
Just keep us in the corners, right?
Both teams in a scoring funk. We're waiting for a made basket. It's been a while. 10-10 the score. Good defense there. A jump ball, and the arrow goes to Carolina.
One of the few times you'll see Vescovi get in problems. What he's so good at, he'll probe the defense. He'll probe the defense. See how patient he is right there? Now, normally when he sees that, he'll backpedal 2 steps back when he sees that lane close. They're just one dribble too many into the teeth of defense.
Hannibal, the freshman out of Hartsville, South Carolina. Built like a football player. Playing some point guard for the Gamecocks.
And that is something that South Carolina needs. Him to come in, play well, allow A.J. Lawson to get on the off-guard position.
Off the foot of James, out of bounds with 8 on the shot clock.
But that is challenging for any coach with a young team, especially a couple of young guards. Teaching them to be patient on the offensive end. Allow your offense to run, to let that defense break down, because there'll be a breakdown on the defensive end. You're going to be patient for it.
Lawson determined to take it all the way, but swatted out of bounds by Jalen Johnson. Now 3 on the shot clock.
Wasn't a breakdown on that, was there? But look at the length, Pons, Joe James, Johnson. I love it.
Inbound, stolen away. Vescovi. Vescovi, shadowed by Hannibal, gets a ball screen and then throws a pass down low, but Kabwa was not looking for it.
And that right there worked to perfection. Coach is saying, maybe throw that a little softer to the rim. Go up and catch that for an easy 2.
Bounce pass almost stolen away. Lawson pounding in the backcourt.
He's so good coming downhill. Shows some good patience right there. I'm sure there'll be some times this game where he does catch it, has an advantage 5-on-4.
3 on the way. Couisnard looking for his third. Hannibal flying in. That sets up the bucket for McCrary, but that was all Hannibal on the hustle.
And we talked about easy buckets are going to be tough to come by tonight. Get on the offensive glass. South Carolina doing a good job. That's 4 offensive rebounds for them today.
Gamecocks had missed their last 6 from the field.
And you see how they get out and deny so hard, South Carolina. See some backdoor cutting opportunities for Tennessee.
Great hands by Couisnard. And he's fouled. 12-10 our score. Coming up, Tennessee football coach Jeremy Pruitt stops by for a visit.
Americans come to LendingTree.com to compare and save on loans, credit cards, and more. But with the new LendingTree app, you can see your full financial health, monitor your credit score, see your cash flow, and find out how you could cut your monthly bills. Download it now to see how much you could save.
They may not be easy to spot, but there are still frontiers. Big places full of possibilities. The unknown, where we must stand with confidence and grit. And as history teaches, when we go to these places, it's best to go in boots. Find your pair at Tecovas, Western goods for new frontiers.
This is Fracture. Just upload an image, place your order, and it'll show up at your door, beautifully printed directly on glass. And this isn't just another frame, not just another canvas. This is new. This is a Fracture. Visit FractureMe.com and print one today.
Low-scoring affair so far in Knoxville. The Gamecocks up by 2, 12-10. Our score as we transition a little bit from the hardwood of the Gridiron National Championship game on Monday. The Tennessee Volunteers, this was not that long ago, the Gator Bowl. On January the 2nd, coming back from 14 points down in the 4th quarter. Eric Gray, the freshman running back, en route to the Gator Bowl MVP. 86 yards on the ground, 34 receiving yards, and Tennessee would rally to defeat Indiana 23-22, and that made the man that we are sitting next to very happy, Mike Morgan, Pat Bradley, and in the middle, no, not that Jeremy Pruitt. That's not the real Jeremy Pruitt. That's the real Jeremy Pruitt, head coach of the Tennessee Volunteers. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
We're doing great. 6 in a row to end the season. You start off kind of bumpy, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish. I imagine that momentum had to feel awfully good going into the offseason.
You know, our guys, they hung together and they finished the year the right way, and we've got a lot of guys coming back, so they're excited about getting started.
What was the key to turn it around, say, middle of the season? Where did you feel like the team started to make the best progress?
Well, we got some guys back on defense that we didn't have early in the year. We quit turning the ball over as much, and just really ownership. Had really good leadership. Our assistant coach has done a fantastic job keeping the group together, and the guys owned who we were, and we tried to fix it.
Coach, I know there is no offseason now. There's nothing. So what is next up in the priority list for you in this offseason?
Well, we're still recruiting in the 20 class and working on the classes getting started, and obviously getting started in off-season.
You bringing them some basketball games, get the environment, understand the support from the Vol family?
Yeah, absolutely. I love coming to the basketball games. I played when I was in high school, and I really enjoy it.
I knew you did, Coach. I could tell. See, we can sense if somebody doesn't just play around with the pigskin, but the round ball sometimes, too.
Coach, thank you so much for the time. Best of luck to you next season and this offseason.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You got it. Jeremy Pruitt.
Congratulations on welcoming a new member of the family, too.
Thank you.
9 days, he's having a kid.
Look at that.
Well, his wife is. You're welcome him in.
She's doing the heavy lifting, yes.
That's right. That's
She's doing all the work.
Yeah. Pat's still working on the whole biology thing, but we'll
one
get
day,
there.
Coach, one day. I know what it's all about, you know.
We'll see if Tennessee basketball can get hot, much like Jeremy Pruitt's football team got hot, winning 6 in a row to end the season. Hannibal takes it strong, tried to muscle it in, can't do it. Tennessee clears. 2-point game. We thought points would be hard to come by. They have been. Pons can't hit a wide open 3.
And that word you used, wide open, great attack move right there. Though I like when South Carolina can attack this Tennessee defense. It's so good at half-court defense. Whenever you can attack, when the defense isn't set, you got to take advantage of it.
Tennessee has missed its last 7 field goals. Gamecocks suffocating defense so far in this first half.
It's a great backdoor move by Bowden. And Tennessee is so good at getting out in those lanes.
And a walk on Pons. Don't forget this Wednesday, we'll have the Gamecocks again as they play host to John Calipari at 14th ranked Kentucky. That'll be this Wednesday at 6:30 Eastern time right here on the SEC Network. I'll be with John Sunvold on the call at that one at the Colonial Life Arena. Look, when you look at it, we talked to Frank Martin about this yesterday at walkthrough. The schedule makers did not do Carolina any favors. You start off with Florida, on the road at Tennessee, and then Kentucky at home. Those are your first 3 games, so that's baptism by fire. Lawson short on a 3.
Yeah, you better get things pointed in the right direction and clicking ASAP. And both teams, like you said earlier, trying to find themselves. Sometimes adversity, though, will answer that question. So in a positive spin of that schedule, they'll be able to figure out who's in and who's not really quick.
Tennessee 1-1 in league play, lost to LSU, and then defeated Missouri. Shot clock ticking down under 5. Bowden short on a 3, and there to rebound it in traffic is Carolina. Again, all the way behind the back pass, and an offensive foul. That's not going to please Frank Martin. Trey Hannibal with a little playground move.
See, Coach Martin, you know he's really mad when he has no facial expression, okay? When he's not even
that's
up to yelling.
You'd almost rather have him yell at you than just put his head down with a look of disgrace.
Normally what follows a pass like that is the buzzer. Come down, sit next to me.
Yes. He has high hopes for Trey Hannibal. That's the future point guard on this roster. He still has some things to learn.
Well, again, in a game like this on the road against a tough team, make not the easy pass, make the high percentage pass. How about that?
Tennessee offensive rebound. Fresh 20 seconds on the shot clock. Another open 3, another miss. Another battle for the rebound, and Lawson tears it away. Lawson gliding in the front court, finds Kosar, who's hammered from behind. That's your best offense right now if you're the Gamecocks. It's Mike Kosar inside.
Yeah, there's no doubt, and that worked out perfectly for South Carolina because you had A.J. Lawson with the ball coming downhill after a missed shot. Kosar, he's played his entire career. He's versatile, great teammate, can run the floor, passes really well. But for Tennessee, that's the shots you're going to get. You're going to get some threes. That might have been their 5th, I believe, what we would consider, quote, open 3. I know Bowden's had 1 Pons, so those are going to fall. Those are the guys that have shot pretty well. Even Pons has shot pretty well this year.
Gamecocks have been wretched from the free throw line, 62% this year. That's 336 in the country. Kosar knocks it down to give the Gamecocks a 4-point lead.
Zone here, half-court zone by South Carolina.
Inside, knocked away by Bryant. Basketball is stolen away by Bryant. Bryant on the breakaway. Look out! Oh, my goodness, what a block. Hannibal gets it to spin in.
Mike, I'm not joking. That might have been the single best block in college basketball. Do you know how high Keyshawn Bryant can get?
He is a sky walker, and I'm sitting here expecting a slam dunk.
Wow. Jordan Bowden. You know, they had that in
8-0 run by the Gamecocks.
And it's been their defense in the passing, active hands.
Bowden on a 3, and finally that snaps the drought for Tennessee. They hadn't hit a field goal since 1829 in the first half.
And early on, you can see that is one of the things that Tennessee is going to be able to take advantage of.
Bryant turns it over, 2-on-1, all the way. And Bryant commits the foul. Timeout on the floor. Professor Pat will check in with us in Knoxville when we come back.
Introducing a new podcast, ESPN Daily, hosted by me, Mina Kimes. Go deeper into the stories of the moment. Get the exclusive access and insider perspective that only ESPN can give you. ESPN Daily. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
This train goes on to glory, this train. This train. This train goes on to glory, this train. This train. This train goes on to glory, no one could ride it but the pure and holy. Lord, Lord, this train.
I think the puppy likes pizza. Puppies don't eat pizza.
Thank you for calling Chewy.com or Pet Lover Shop.
Hi, I'm looking for some advice on what to feed our new puppy.
Aw, let's find him something he'll love.
Mom, the puppy peed.
And he seems to think my house is his bathroom.
We carry some great potty pads that I can add to your cart.
Perfect. Would you be able to help us set up his crate?
Of course. Let's walk through it together.
You're a lifesaver.
We're here for you. Food, toys, treats, and answers are all just a click away. Save 30% on your first order today at Chewy.
Oh, hello. Casper is having a sale. Now you can save 10% on a Casper mattress for a limited time. So don't let another second go by. Grab one while you can and try not to hit snooze. Save 10% on an award-winning Casper mattress and try it for 100 nights, risk-free, with free shipping and returns. Visit Casper.com today.
Gamecocks up by 3, and that music could mean only one thing. Straight from his study, perusing his leather-bound books, the omniscient one, Pat Bradley. And Pat, you being one of the great scholars of our time, you've been able to look at why we have so many left-handed players in this day and age of college basketball.
Mike, I've never seen it in all of my pages of my books in my tall, wherever you keep books at. Bookcase?
Study,
yes,
library,
yes. 7 left-handed players Tennessee has. Never seen it before. I don't know if it's ever been done. So I thought and I asked and I probed as many people as I could. And they said back in Shakespearean times, you know, when people were rigid, you would encourage right-hand use. Write with your right hand. Eat with your right hand. And now, in the days we are in where, hey, let the kid be who he really is in her. Now you see everybody using their proper left hand. Coach Barnes has a son who's a true lefty. He said there are times his wife tried to encourage the right-hand use of eating and writing, and now he's ambidextrous, and he can shoot it from land and sea.
Yes. Tennessee with 7 lefties, more than half the roster southpaws. Now, when you played, of course, you're a righty.
I am.
How many left-handed shots did you hit in your 4 years at Arkansas?
I think, honestly, I may have probably hit 3. I had this discussion with somebody because he was asking me how much time should he spend with his young son with his left hand. And he asked how many times I shot in college with my left hand. Of course, very rarely did I go into the paint. You know, I stayed 15 to 20 feet. But you need that strong left for ball handling skills.
Offensive foul, an illegal screen called on Bryant.
Some of the great left-handers in history: Nate Tiny Archibald, Chris Mullin.
Chris Mullin, one of my favorites.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, that was, for some reason, the lefties always seem to have a prettier looking stroke. Just like in baseball.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Kenny Anderson.
Georgia Tech fan.
I played against Tennessean Brandon Wharton. Great left-handed shooting guard in the late 90s for Tennessee.
3 on the way. Brick fired up that time by Kusnar.
You know how there's so much in your chamber? And when you shoot, Kusnar came out, knocked down 2 straight.
Yep. he's ran out of ammunition since. Bowden on a rise and fire 3. Into the waiting hands of Kusnar. Bowden. They make it Kusnar, gives it right back.
If we were following trends, Tennessee early on had games 40 points in the paint, 38 points in the paint.
Yeah.
In the last 3 games, they're less than 20.
Yeah, 18 versus Wisconsin, 18 versus LSU, and 16 versus Mizzou. And if you remember the last few years, they lived with points in the paint because you had Schofield and you had Williams on the post. You had Bone beating people to the basket. Points a lot harder to come by for this year's Tennessee Volunteer squad. Open 3. That'll get you points.
You know what they say? You can get 3 much better than getting 2. Joe James, good catch and shoot.
Josiah James, the pride of Charleston, South Carolina. Porter Gaud School, same high school that produced one Aaron Neesmith of Vanderbilt. Couisnard, tough shot. And that's going to likely get him back on the bench. Tennessee on a 7-0 run. There's 6 minutes to go first half. We thought points would be hard to come by. They have been.
Well, that catch right there, Jordan Bond, I would have liked to see him rise up and take that three.
On Monday, the SEC Network has you covered for the national championship game. Will it be Clemson? Will it be LSU? We'll find out. We'll start things off with Marty and McGee at 2. Then it's Paul Feinbaum. Then it's the SEC Nation pregame show. You can watch the game with the LSU radio crew. And finally wrap up the day with the SEC Now post-game show. Highlights, interviews, and a complete game breakdown only on the SEC Network. He is Pat Bradley. I'm Mike Morgan. We've already announced our predictions on that. We'll make them again later on in the second half.
Has yours changed at all?
Not at all.
Good.
Not at all.
You're going to give me a hint?
It will be a Tiger.
Oh, good. I know exactly what I get 50% chance of getting it right.
Helter Skelter, 3 on the shot clock, 3 on the way. Offensive rebound, Fulkerson, he can't hit. Follow, yes, plus the foul. Kamwa.
Kamwa and Fulkerson owning the offensive glass. You're not going to get many easy buckets against South Carolina. How can you do that? Hit the offensive glass, get some garbage buckets, get a little dirty, get to the free throw line, layups, dunks, free throws.
Olivier Kamwa, the freshman from Helsinki, Finland. Tennessee's got him from Finland, Uruguay, and France. Gamecocks could use a bucket here, now down 3.
We have a lot of great international restaurants here in Knoxville.
Kotsar gets it to drop. When in doubt, go to the senior Mike Kotsar.
That's just a soft touch, man. I'm talking 7-8 feet, rising up over a big guy, no backboard.
8 points now for Kotsar. And a hand check foul on the perimeter by Bolden. When we mentioned all the lefties in this game, we also have a lot of international players in this game. France, Finland, Serbia, Uruguay, Canada, Estonia, and the Dominican Republic. Of course, Frank Martin and his family roots from Cuba. I mean, we have got a lot of different spots on the globe represented today.
How many languages do you think right there in that graphic?
Well, you got a number of players that speak multiple languages.
Right.
And of course, we know you, Pat, speak English and Bostonian.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And you're one of the few that can actually translate.
I've been able to do it, yes.
Times have been difficult. I just couldn't get it out of my mouth.
I had to order up that Rosetta Stone to brush up on both.
I've been able to sort of mesh the two together. The North and the South have blended beautifully from whatever it is I speak.
They really... 3-point game, Lawson finds Kotsar up top.
You see what the luxury of being able to run your offense through a big guy South Carolina has with Mike Kotsar.
The question is, where else are the points going to come from today for the Gamecocks? Shot clock under 10 for Bolden. And a reach-in foul from behind. That'll go against James.
He could be your answer, Bolden. We know what he did when the Gamecocks went to Virginia and won that game. He can catch and shoot, strong-bodied guy. Tennessee knows that, though, so you saw how Bowden was trying to run him off of that three-point line.
17 foul, 1-1 for the George Washington transfer, Jair Bolden. 65% free throw shooter on the year.
And against Virginia, he was just failing. There was no hesitation, catch and shoot, step backs.
Yeah, 20 points in that game, 3 threes. And on the road, at the time, Virginia was ranked number 9. That was certainly the high water mark for this Gamecock team. And you're saying, okay, they're going to turn it around in typical Frank Martin fashion. Then they lay an egg at home against Stetson. Have a tough game against Florida at home in the SEC opener and lose that one. So trying to get back on track today. Great hands by Lawson on the denial. Lawson all the way. Lawson foul.
Once again, getting in the lane, that's good ball pressure. Because of the ball pressure now, Bowden was forced to get rid of it. And then you get out in that passing lane. So that's what it is. Sometimes it comes down to just being tough with the ball. Having somebody that can be tough from a point guard standpoint, get your team into something into a good offense. A lot of teams don't have that. Very, very underrated part of running an offense.
No, if you just look at the numbers on Lawson now in his sophomore year, you say 15 points a game. He's shooting 34 from 3, 2.5 assists a game. You say, well, I mean, that's
sure.
a good season. But
yes.
The expectations were so high. And Frank told us, last year, Silva was the man.
Sure.
You had other guys that you could rely on. This is supposed to be the Lawson show, and he needs to take ownership of this team. Again, good denial. Again, a steal. This time it's Bolden. Bolden on a stop and pop. He can't get the bounce. Tip up, no. And finally, rebound hauled in by Tennessee. 3:53 to play. 1-point game in Knoxville.
What does it mean to be the official bank of the SEC? It means Regions is your bank for waking up with the sun, pulling all-nighters, paying your dues, putting in the work, and getting where you want to go. We're officially cheering on the most passionate fans. Because we're the bank that understands the greatness is in the grind. Regions, official bank of the SEC.
In this city, there's magic. Magic under the lights, rhythm on the stage, and soul in the stories. The Music City is home to the SEC Men's Basketball Tournament, and it is back in 2020, March 11 through 15. Feel the magic and watch as the nation's top student athletes battle it out to reach the top and earn the tournament title. SEC basketball, it just means more.
Coming up at the break, the SEC Halftime Report, Alyssa Lang, Coach Kennedy, Damian Fishback. Guys, we'll talk BBN trying to finish strong. Auburn trying to stay undefeated. What have you seen from this so far?
Well, I've seen in South Carolina, Tennessee, both teams struggling offensively. Somebody's got to find some rhythm.
And the person that finds the rhythm will be the people who offensive rebound.
We'll see in a few.
Got
Mike
that
and
in.
PB.
Got it in.
Back to you.
Alyssa, guys, thank you so much. Yeah, we're in favor of rhythm. If you can find a solution to that, we are all for it. 22-21 our score. Defense has had plenty of rhythm so far today as we look at today's mayhem moment brought to you by Allstate.
This came off again, a South Carolina getting the passing lanes. Keyshawn Bryant, one of the most explosive guards in the league. How about the best block in college basketball this season? Jordan Bowden, I didn't know he had it in him. Met him at the pinnacle. Both guys had the elbow above the rim, possibly. Must be nice.
And if you've watched some highlights of Keyshawn Bryant over the year and a half that he's been in the Gamecock uniform, you know he's one of the best leapers in college basketball. So to reject that shot, he had a full head of steam. Did not see that one coming. One of the better blocks in college basketball this year. Gymnastics taking over the SEC network every Friday night. And this week we'll have 3rd-ranked Florida, 16th-ranked Mizzou squaring off in Columbia at 7. Then it's Auburn and 2nd-ranked LSU from Baton Rouge at 8:30. Friday Night Heights also streaming live on the ESPN app. 1-point game so far here at Thompson Bowling Arena. Tennessee trying to improve to 2-1 in league play. The Gamecocks trying to pick up their first win of the year in conference. Remember, their next game will be at home against Kentucky. Kentucky already off to a good start in conference play. So this is one of those sandwich games, Pat. I mean, if you're Frank Martin and company, you need this one in a bad way.
Yeah, and they've played well enough. I think they have a game plan, understand Tennessee obviously very well, slow it down. They're pressuring the ball, understand even Tennessee's trying to find a lead guard.
Minaya, top floor for the rebound. Final 3.5 minutes of half number 1.
Hannibal in the game. See now A.J. Lawson coming off the ball screens.
Hannibal trying a blind feed to Minaya, and Tennessee picks up the turnover.
Excuse me. Down screens, not ball screens.
Bowden steps into a three. Fulkerson off his hands out of bounds.
And with what appears to be Tennessee struggling to make some shots behind the arc, still a one-point game, still only down one. They're getting good looks from the three-point line, looks that you would think will go down in the second half.
Yeah, almost a 5-second count, and then the ball just goes out of bounds. Minaya thought he was held. Frank Martin saying, hey, there's some contact there, no whistle.
I don't think coach is happy with anybody trying to get open there. That when it becomes one-on-one, it's your job. If you're one of the four out there to get open for your teammate who's about to throw it in, that's what you have to do.
Now Kusnar checks in for Carolina, 3:12 to go.
And Hannibal was on the receiving end of that substitution, which I'm sure is a V-cut. Get open, be strong, create a passing lane.
Bowden around the ball screen. Into the corner, kick over to the wing. James has it rejected. Blocked out of bounds. That's Levesque, the 6'11" freshman out of Brockton, Massachusetts.
Well, you see right there, good job with Kusnar's riding them into the big fellow Levesque, protecting the rim, and Coach Martin's going to be happy with McCreary and Levesque, two good-looking youngsters, big-bodied guys. He's a Brockton boxer, huh?
Rated the #2 player out of the state of Massachusetts.
Home of Rocky Marciano and marvelous Marvin Hagler, the Brockton boxers.
Backdoor cut, layup missed by Bolden. Love to have that one back. And then Bolden steals it. Tennessee has caught the turnover bug this season, very un-Rick Barnes-like in terms of his teams over the years, but they don't have right now a true point guard. Remember, they lost Lamonte Turner. His career is done.
Well, that particular right there was a slow cross-court pass. I would have been surprised if it wasn't picked up.
Shot clock under 10. Bolden with 5. Back out to Minaya. Spots up a 3. Rims off. 22-21 with under 2 minutes to play.
We hadn't seen many fast break opportunities, so I would say that is the kind of tempo that Tennessee wants. But it's about running half-court offense, not turning it over, getting in the middle of the lane. They did that early on in the game. South Carolina's made the necessary adjustments. You just saw Minaya right there understand that high ball screen. Fulkerson's dive into the rim.
And there you see Lamonte Turner. He was actually leading the team in assists, but had to end his career due to thoracic outlet syndrome. Was playing hurt really much of last year and this season, and finally just had to shut it down. You're talking about a senior point guard, a guy that was leading this offense, averaging 7 assists a game. Then all of a sudden you lose him, and now it's easy to say next man up, but when you're talking about the point guard spot, Pat, that's a lot harder than it sounds.
Well, there's no doubt, because he, not only could he get you into an offense, get the ball where it needed to be on the floor to initiate the offense, he could knock down threes for you. He could score for you. As a matter of fact, I thought coming to this season he'd be just under 17 to 20 point a game guy for Tennessee.
All tied up at 22. Kusnar driving, laying it up and in. Nice move by the redshirt freshman from East Chicago.
Kotsar defending Kusnar out there on the perimeter. Kotsar's a big fella that can move his feet, though.
Dunk attempt rejected at the rim by Minaya. Got some big-time blocks in this game. Carolina up 2 with the basketball. Kotsar crossover leaner. How about that move by the big man?
Mike Jordan Kotsar? Did you see? I'm not saying it was the quickest crossover I've ever seen, but it was effective.
I didn't know he had that in his bag of tricks.
The offhand, I don't think Fulkerson knew it either. That's great action right there. Man, that was great.
Fulkerson hooping the harm.
Did you see how Johnson came off that screen sideways right there? Great screen by Fulkerson. See if we catch that again. That's just a great pass. Feed goes straight up. I love the call by the officials. Appreciate Lawson giving up the body. But I'm a guy, when I look at charges, was the offensive player out of control gaining an advantage? Just because there's contact doesn't mean it's a charge.
I don't think Frank was a big fan of that call. The first foul on Lawson. Gamecocks can play for the final shot, up by a point. Gordon Minaya can just take it to the bucket and commit an offensive foul.
Now, Will might have to take a look at that one. He looked like, again, not sure if Minaya is out of control. And no, it almost seemed like he got hit below the waist, caused him, Minaya, to fall down.
Yeah, I don't know if Kamwa had position on the play. A tough whistle against Carolina there. Now Tennessee can play for the final shot. 26-25. Bowden guarded by Minaya. Bowden throws up a prayer, stolen away. Couisnard from half court, and that's how the half comes to a close. Not exactly an offensive Rembrandt, but defense alive and well here. And alive and well in studio is our own Alyssa Lang. Take it away.
Thank you, guys. Welcome into the SEC Halftime Report. I'm Alyssa Lang. Andy Kennedy, Damian Fishback hanging out. We'll be with you all day, all night. Are you guys ready for this?
Ready for this. Let's go.
What a great game to get things kicked off for us, though, on the SEC Network. Tennessee, South Carolina. And, guys, when this one started, Tennessee started out hot, but South Carolina's been able to battle back, take the lead, even if it is by 1 point going into the break. Coach, what have you seen from this first half so far?
Both teams are a little sloppy offensively, but I think it's due to defensive pressure. Both teams light you up in the half court defensively. Whoever can find an offensive rhythm is going to have an opportunity to get this victory, albeit South Carolina on the road, or can Tennessee protect that home floor?
Yeah, and when you're defensively as sound as these two teams, I really think that they have to get out and get some early offense, which has been a little bit of a challenge because unless you have multiple turnovers that allows you to get out early, that's a little bit tougher to do. But I think Vescovi, who's trying to find himself, has to continue to push the pace a little bit faster. And the same thing for the Gamecocks. Get out, see if it's there, and if it's not there, then you can pull it back out and run your offense.
South Carolina seems to have been playing exceptionally well, especially on the road. If they can come in and finish the second half strong, what would that mean for a program on the road against a team like Tennessee?
Well, they need something good to happen. In their last outing against Florida, they played well for about 30 minutes. The Gators came in and got them in Colonial Life Arena. So an opportunity to get back even, get your first conference victory, and just try to create some momentum as you start this SEC gauntlet.
Yeah, and you just talked about the gauntlet. There's an 18-game conference schedule. Okay, you know that as good as anyone. But the snowball effect can happen rather quickly. And so if you don't win this game, then the question is, you look going forward, where do you start to get those
You want to
victories?
create some positive momentum.
Yeah.
Well, we have a big fight in this one going into the second half. Things were looking pretty easy for Auburn, especially down the stretch against Georgia. But, guys, look how the day started out. Bruce Pearl giving out sandwiches.
We'll need those later, Bruce. Save a couple.
Oh, man. First half, Auburn up 3. It's Alan Flanagan with the big 3 to put Auburn up 6. Later in the first half, in transition, Isaac Okoro finds Flanagan again. How about that, Coach?
Hey, Buck Flanagan, the Auburn great who's now on Bruce's staff, has got to be beaming with pride. His young son, what a game he's played.
Samir Dowdy there with a big 3. Later, Dowdy driving, misses the lay-in. Austin Wiley's there for the putback, 52-33 at that moment. Auburn, though, with a big-time lead over Georgia. Some news out of Vanderbilt. Aaron Nesmith is out of today's game. They're playing Texas A&M. He's got a stress fracture in his foot. He's out indefinitely, unlikely to return. We're told he will be spending the next 6 weeks on a scooter, not putting any weight on that stress fracture in his foot. Obviously, this is a huge loss for this Vanderbilt squad. 23 points per game. He's on pace to be the second highest ever by a Vanderbilt player in a season. His three-point field goal percentage of 52% would be a Commodore record. Guys, this not good for the Vanderbilt Commodores. That game will tip off in about an hour or so. Coming up next on the SEC Halftime Report, we'll talk more Tennessee, South Carolina Gamecocks with a 1-point lead at the break.
This year, we put our hands to good use with Project Hometown and you, giving a total of $14 million along with your help and reaching nearly 3,000 organizations across the South. We gave back to our hometowns in a variety of ways, like funding 10 new housing facilities, building homes for families, raising money for associates in need, collecting donations for our communities, and raising $11 million through charity sales. Supporting our hometowns is part of what makes us Belk. Learn more at belk.com.
My hair loss was a reminder of my age. I started noticing losing my hair in my late 20s. What really stuck out about Roman to me was the simplicity aspect, the confidentiality aspect. It made me feel like I could tell them anything. When I started first seeing results, I got excited. It makes me feel younger. My relationship with my hair is fantastic. We're good friends now. I love Roman and the fact that it works.
A lot happens over 225 years. Traditions take hold, limits are tested, champions reign, leaders arise, memories are made, a legacy grows. For the past 225 years and the next, Tennessee Volunteers are lighting the way.
Apps are used everywhere except work. Why is that? Is it because people love filling out forms? Maybe they like checking with their supervisor to see how much vacation time they have. Or sending corporate their expense reports? I'll let you in on a little secret. They don't. By empowering employees to manage their own tasks, Paycom frees you to focus on the business of business.
To learn more, visit paycom.com.
This is Kate.
Hey.
She takes 2 prescriptions. Kate's son Jack takes 1 too. Kate works hard and thought she had good insurance. But she still pays too much. That's no good. So Kate downloaded the GoodRx app. Now she can compare prescription prices to find the best discounts. She even beats her insurance price. Good for you, Kate. Good for you. GoodRx. Stop paying too much for your prescriptions. Download the free app today.
The National Championship Game, presented by AT&T, Monday on ESPN.
The weather didn't want to cooperate here in New Orleans, but hey, it didn't matter. We still had media day. The artists were out throwing some Spider-Man. We had Clemson, we had great shoes, we had LSU, and we had a whole lot of swag here. Tim Tebow, Marcus Spears, I'm Laura. Guys, your biggest takeaway from spending 3 hours here at media day, spending a lot of times with both teams?
Mine was probably what a good personality and how funny it was. Tremaine Ancrum, the offensive lineman for Clemson. That's my biggest takeaway.
He was really good.
Give that dude a mic.
Really good.
Yeah.
Both teams lose.
Yeah.
That's what I took. Had fun. We had Justin up here dancing. Ancrum said half-ass.
He did.
On TV.
And now you said
you
it
can't
again.
say that.
Derek Stingley, just being so humble.
Just humble. Like, you just want to grab him and be like, I love you, man. It was a great day. But 2 loose teams. Nobody came in here with the cliche coached up points of, hey, if they ask you this, say this.
Yeah, I totally agree.
It was fun.
I totally agree with Marcus, and I think both teams will show up and be loose in the game.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can actually get a feel. You're like, wow, there's a lot of pressure, and they're about to freak out.
Yeah. So,
these 2 teams are going to show up.
You know what I also thought today? These are 2 teams that size-wise are the same. You don't look at one and say, and I get it, we're in the college football playoffs, so at this point, like if you make it
semifinal, we looked at Oklahoma.
Oklahoma was smaller, little small. So either way, we've got 2 great teams that are going to face off in a couple of days. We can't wait to see it happen, and we will be with you all day Monday leading up to the national championship game. At 2, it's Marty and McGee. Then Paul Feinbaum takes over. SEC Nation comes your way, presented by Dr. Pepper at 6 p.m.
Nation.
Let's do it. And then you got LSU's Hometown Radio. That'll be on SEC Network. You'll hear that radio broadcast. SEC Now following the game.
After the game.
After
Monday,
the game.
SEC Network.
We'll see you there. Oh, we're looking forward to Monday night for sure. Guys, today Kentucky hosting Alabama. Alabama did not make it easy on the Wildcats, though. Late first half, Tyrese Maxey, he's going to pull up and hit a three to make it 44-32 Kentucky. Then John Petty goes to work in the second half.
John Petty has gone to work this entire
Tell it, AK, tell it.
16 points, 7 rebounds. He is playing with an edge this year.
Later, it'll be Ashton Hagans with the big-time three. Kentucky gets the win over Alabama, 76-67. Coming up next, in just a few minutes, we'll have the second half of this game.
There's
South
your man,
Carolina.
Fish.
The hardest working man in the SEC.
John Fulkerson.
We'll be right back.
Guys, carrying some extra weight? I know what you're thinking. Should I stop tucking my shirt in? Wear my pants lower? Just buy bigger clothes? You don't have to suffer to drop some pounds. Stop. Lose the weight without going hungry with Nutrisystem for Men, America's #1 home delivery weight loss program. Lose up to 18 pounds and 8 inches overall in your first month. Check us out today and get protein-packed shakes free. Nutrisystem for Men is designed specifically to burn fat so you can start to feel great. Dude, you don't have to go hungry, count calories, or follow some silly rules. People across America trust Nutrisystem because they deliver your favorite foods made healthier and perfectly balanced to put your body in fat-burning mode. So you eat the food and lose the weight. And the best part? Nutrisystem's money-back guarantee. Act now. Buy 1 month, get 1 free.
Go online or call 888-382-FIT9 right now. Buy 1 month, get 1 free.
You know what's scary? Thinking about retirement. I keep putting it off, kind of like that friend you never have coffee with. Now, I have a plan for retirement. For college savings, for investing, made just for me. Now I have personal capital. And I feel good about my finances. Finally.
Get your free retirement planner or talk to an advisor. Personal Capital. Start today at personalcapital.com.
In the grandest sense, this is everyone's first rodeo. So the best way to approach the unknown, the moments that matter, is with as much confidence as you can carry. The question isn't, why would you wear cowboy boots? Nah. Why wouldn't you wear cowboy boots? Find your pair at tecovas.com. Western goods for new frontiers.
I am made of 200-year-old tradition and endless memories. I am made of unrelenting inquiry, home to those who raise the bar and raise it again. I am made of bright conviction, of grit, of growth, of greatness. I am South Carolina.
Second half about to get underway in Knoxville. Mike Kotsar knocking down a shot for the Gamecocks, who have a 1-point lead over the Vols at the half. Quick break. Mike and PB will be back with a second.
On a Suspicious Fansville by Dr. Pepper.
Hey, you're late.
I was just getting more Dr. Pepper.
Is that Dijon mustard? Are you seeing another grill?
No.
Was it her? What does she have that I don't?
She has an onion volcano. Look.
She uses propane. This is natural, girl.
Tastes the same to me.
What?
Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville.
When severe weather knocks you down, Shelter Insurance is there to help pick you up. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
This huddle never breaks. In the SEC, we fight like cats and dogs, because that's what families do. But after the whistle, born rivals become sworn allies. The hype and the hope bind us, even as they find us. Banging that drum, chomping that chomp, dropping that until we bring it in to the huddle that never breaks.
No one tells you what to expect when you're expecting a new pet. Okay, Benny, we need to get you a crate, training treats, potty pads. But with Chewy's low prices, you'll find amazing deals on everything you need for your pets. Oh, even those toys? You can save on toys, food, treats, even your pet's prescriptions. What about leashes, a bowl, his ID tag? You can get it all at a great price. Even the shipping is free. So what are you waiting for? Start saving at Chewy today.
Save 30% on your first order at Chewy. Americans have come to LendingTree.com to shop and compare their loans and credit cards for over 20 years. Now with the new LendingTree app, you can go beyond loan shopping and see your full financial health, including your free credit score, ongoing credit monitoring, your current cash flow, and financial future. Then, it automatically compares your current loans and credit card payments to their network of lenders and shows you where you could cut your monthly bills. Download it now to check your financial health and see how much you could save.
26-25. Offense was limited in the first half, but not the performance by Red Panda. Perseverance. There we are. We are just absolutely intrigued. The Red Panda, you know, it's all about perseverance.
I helped the Panda. I helped the Panda.
Helping the Panda, Pat Bradley, a man of the community, doing what he can, and eventually, Pat, the Panda would, yes, exactly.
There's our selfie.
I've never met a better looking couple than you and Red Panda.
They talk about the Jordan flu game.
Yes.
Bird putting up 60.
Yeah.
Will putting up 100. We witnessed the Panda.
The Panda.
Red Panda.
It took about 5 attempts, but the Panda nailed it. Right. We're going to see one of these teams perhaps nail it in the second half. Offense at a premium, points at a premium, steals for the Gamecocks at a maximum.
That has been their catalyst. They play the lanes really well. They get up tight. Good hands right there by Bolden. That starts their fast break action. Their hands are always so active. They've been able to get 6 steals. Yes. That has ignited their offense. On the other end, Tennessee started the game getting it to John Fulkerson. Points in the paint for him as you see him set a screen and roll. And then right there, another screen situation. Roll into the hoop. Tennessee has had a lot of success early on this season to get points in the paint, getting to the rim. South Carolina's defense, though, is doing an excellent job of closing the lanes, protecting the rim. So I think it's going to come down to, can Tennessee make enough shot? I know it sounds simple, but sometimes that's the game of basketball. Can they make enough from behind the three to open up the lane?
Both teams shooting under 35% from the field in the first half. You see it was a game of runs, but that could be a little misleading because we only had 51 points in the first half. We only had 8 combined assists in the first half. Let's see if somebody can clean it up a little bit offensively. We know both these teams can play elite defense. Kotsar pokes it away. Another steal for Carolina. Arrow
right on
will go to the Gamecocks. And that'll go down to steal number 8.
You know, we were talking with Coach Martin last night, and the issue of turnovers came up, and he had mentioned how from a strategy standpoint there's really not much you can do to prevent them. It's an individual player pride. I always looked at the ball as like, you know, your significant other. You can't not let anybody take that from you. You got to hold on to it.
Kotsar can't get the tip to go off the Lawson miss. James, and bumped and fouled by Lawson.
And that's another thing players are starting, they have to get a little bit more used to, is how to set those high ball screens. Officials are looking for it, how to defend those high ball screens.
That was the high ball screens that killed Carolina in the SEC opener against Florida. Andrew Nembhard had a clinic off of ball screens. Gamecocks have defended it much better today. Pons on a pull-up. And there's Kotsar pulling in another rebound.
That is a great defensive possession by South Carolina. They closed down any passing lanes, therefore made whoever was dribbling become a one-on-one player. Tennessee right now doesn't have that kind of player.
Bolden on the baseline, can't get the reverse to go. Inside, and that's Tennessee's first lead since the 4:32 mark of the first half.
Joe James says, I'm that kind of player. Put it in my hand, I'll break down the defense on my own. If he can continue to do that, and he's that kind of talent, that would be what Tennessee needs.
And Gamecocks responding on the other end to take the lead right back.
For such a big, strong guy, Kotsar, and it's got the little corkscrew, but he's got a soft touch on his jump shot.
And then Kotsar with the rejection on the other end. Lawson full throttle finds Bryant on the finish. A rare fast break basket in this game, Pat Bradley.
But that particular play with Lawson leading the break, coming downhill with his athlete, Keyshawn Bryant, on the left side. Great, because he's a left-handed player, so it gives him a lot of options.
Fulkerson left alone down low, and he's fouled.
Yeah, that looked like somewhat of a miscommunication.
It's hard to lose 6'9", 215-pound John Fulkerson.
Hair flopping around.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to be what Tennessee is trying to do. We talked about before how early in the year, you know, they had started out with getting 40 points in the paint. That's high percentage basketball is really what that is. Keeping the pressure on the defense. When you get it to the rim, you're going to get to the free throw line.
It's a young man who's come a long way now in his junior year. Minutes were hard to come by when you had Williams down low and Schofield in and out. And now all of a sudden Fulkerson finds himself in a prominent role.
Tennessee with some full court pressure now, making guys who aren't necessarily comfortable running the point guard position become point guards with pressure.
That is the third foul on Vescovi, who will stay in the game with those three fouls, and Bryant hammers it home, plus the foul. There is the elevation we were talking about, and he was not going to be blocked or denied on this one.
But just look at the pass by Kotsar. He's banging down low with Fulkerson. Just turn your head, Joe James, for a second with Keyshawn Bryant. But that we've seen Kotsar, South Carolina ran through the offense with him the top of the key. We've seen in the block. We've seen from the free throw line area.
Tennessee almost turns it over. James caught in the corner. And Minaya gets his hands on it. Another steal, but then he stepped out of bounds. Minaya could not tightrope the sideline.
And sometimes to relieve that pressure, when you have a team that is getting up in the passing lanes, they're looking to steal and run. Backdoor cut. Backdoor, you don't get it. Next guy up on the wing, replace your position. Make him pay, catch him leaning. Yep. Oh, we got both of them. He got his money's worth on that one.
Yes, he did.
What do you think of the blue sneakers with the South Carolina colors? They stand out.
Well, as long as it's not light blue, they would tell you in the Palmetto. That's not Tar Heel.
Is that Mets colors? His father was an executive with the Mets.
Still is.
Still is.
Omar.
Maybe that's a it's kind of a little homage to old Daddy-O.
Shaded blue, led by Joe Lindsay. Finalizing the call. It is Tennessee ball. And a miss by Bowden on a good look. And Carolina picks up a foul on the floor. That's Kusnar. Third foul on the redshirt freshman. He's only playing in his 15th game. He missed the Florida game with a back strain. Bowden blocked by Kusnar. Gets it back. Every pass is challenged, and now James on the flush. 1 point game.
Right there, you saw it was a broken play. South Carolina's defense was nearly top of the key. All of it.
Kotsar has it rejected by Pons, the SEC's second leading shot blocker.
And what I want to show here is there's got to be more of that cut. Bowden and Joe James were stuck behind the three-point line. Nobody was protecting the rim. Take advantage of that. Backdoor cut some of these South Carolina aggressive defenders on the wing.
Kotsar, mid-range game. That's his specialty. He loves that 15 to 18-foot jump shot. He's got 14.
Feed him. And the other thing South Carolina has going for them, first of all, the ability to stay in front of the ball handler. Then they get out in passing lanes, deny, so it creates a one-man scoring opportunity for Tennessee.
Oh, he can't get it to go, and then Fulkerson over the back. Boy, Jordan Bowden has had a wide-open three, and then a layup that he missed.
Now, he's working hard now.
Oh, yeah, he is.
I mean, that's when you play defense like South Carolina, they are going to make you work. You saw that play right there. Great execution. He came off of 2 screens to get free to get to the rim, but there's a physical game for him, and they're chasing him everywhere.
He's now 1 for 11 from the field. Kotsar, feed that man down low, takes it right in on Pons.
One of the
16 for the senior.
Few semi-contested shots that he's going to get right there at the rim.
James on the drive. Pass sets up an open three. Kotsar reels it in. Gamecocks largest lead of 5 points. Bryant on a blow by. Blocked by Pons. Really in the waiting hands of James. Waiting for the cavalry. Pons lines up a three. Rims out. Foul on the floor. It'll be against Tennessee.
Coming up next, 3-point play.
Take a look at 3 of our well-known coaches coming up. How about that, huh? How about that?
Americans come to LendingTree.com to compare and save on loans, credit cards, and more. But with the new LendingTree app, you can see your full financial health, monitor your credit score, see your cash flow, and find out how you could cut your monthly bills. Download it now to see how much you could save.
Hi, I'm Steve. My ultimate goal for my condition is to put it on the back burner and not have to think about it. And Roman allows me to do that. It was really encouraging to be able to complete the online consultation and get my medication to my door before I was even able to go to a sit down at the clinic that I had an appointment with. It doesn't have to be so difficult to find the care and resources that you need. If I had found Roman earlier, it would have made things so much easier.
This is Fracture. Just upload an image, place your order, and it'll show up at your door, beautifully printed directly on glass. And this isn't just another frame, not just another canvas. This is new. This is a Fracture. Visit FractureMe.com and print one today.
Yeah, our three-point play focusing on the longest tenured coaches in the SEC. There's been a lot of turnover. Well, we've got 2 of the longest tenured coaches in this game. John Calipari now in his 12th year overall. Frank Martin in his 8th. Bruce Pearl, 5th season overall for the Auburn Tigers. And, of course, Rick Barnes just 1 year short of that. You take a look at Final Fours. How many conferences have a half a dozen coaches that have been to the Final Four? Cal's been to 4 of them. Ben Howland, 3. Frank Martin, Rick Barnes, Bruce Pearl, Tom Crean, all with 1 Final Four. And, of course, Frank Martin did it with the Gamecocks a couple of years back. We've talked about this a number of times, Pat. The resurgence of the SEC. 15 teams in the last 2 years in the NCAA tournament. Second most of any conference in all of college basketball. And a large part of that has been a major upgrade in facilities and, quite frankly, a major upgrade in coaching hires.
Yeah, well, when you talk about difficulty in winning games in the SEC, I don't care where it is, home, away. When you have the collection of coaches that can prepare, recruit, motivate, like these coaches can, and I got a chance to sit in with Coach Barnes in his pregame scout with the team. I mean, it's just detailed. There's very few circumstances and situations that these coaches have not been in. You talk about Final Fours, winning national championships. Come on, man, it's the best of the best.
Frank took Kansas State to an Elite 8. Of course, Rick Barnes took Texas to the Final Four. Multiple tournaments the last couple of years with Tennessee.
And think of the talent that these guys have coached on the college level, from Kevin Durant to Anthony Davis.
Reaching foul on James.
And a whole lot in between that we've been fortunate enough to see play and coach and develop by these guys.
And that guy, to me, and I've said this a number of times going back to his other coaching stints, gets the most out of the talent that he has on his roster. And his roster is going to be bolstered big time next year, as I mentioned, a top 5 recruiting class, according to ESPN.com. Lawson on the drive. Can't get it. There's Bryant to clean it up.
We talked about hitting the glass, getting easy buckets, and you have to be a tough shot maker in this game because there's not going to be many uncontested looks at it.
This is the largest deficit that Tennessee has had in this game. Couisnard in the cylinder foul, crowding the driver on that time, Vescovi. So Couisnard just picked up his third.
Vescovi, you see him there probing. You see how he does that? He's so under control, smart, waiting for his defender to either become flat-footed, waiting for a teammate to get open. He does it with his right hand and left hand, probes. Just when you think he can rise up and shoot it over you too.
He found out he was eligible to play the day of that LSU game. Goes out there and hits 6 3-pointers. A little bit out of control there, though. Dribbles it off his leg, out of bounds.
And the next step for him is understanding the physicality, how this college game is played. Good job, that reach-in right there. Just held him up just enough by TJ Moss.
Each team now with 12 turnovers. Coming up on the 14-minute mark of this ball game. Gamecocks with their largest lead of 7.
Now, how many point guards is that? Wow, great pick.
Bowden has pocket picked by Gaines. On a back pedal, throws it up at the rim and draws a foul. Devontae Gaines, the freshman out of Buffalo, New York.
Well, he snuck that one, didn't he? Perfect timing. Didn't think he'd get that low against Hannibal, but you can see Frank Martin just shaking his head because he's used multiple guys at the point guard position. Of course, A.J. Lawson, he's used Hannibal, just there, T.J. Moss. Heck, Mike Kotsar wouldn't be surprised if he's brought it up once or twice, just looking for somebody to get us in our offense.
They call the foul on the floor, so Tennessee will take it out of bounds. But they can't get it in. A timeout called. Carolina was pressing on the inbounds. 14:03 to go in Knoxville.
Guys, if you wake up feeling fat, bad back, heartburn, tired, then it's time to get healthy and lose weight with Nutrisystem for Men.
Once I lost the weight, everything else fell into place. I'm healthier, I'm stronger.
Not only did I lose 60 pounds, but I feel incredible. I don't snore.
My doctor told me I needed to lose weight. Nutrisystem helped me lose 105 pounds.
Lose up to 18 pounds and 8 inches overall in your first month. Lose weight fast, money back guaranteed. It's a fact. Junk in, junk out. That's why you feel and look terrible. Nutrisystem for Men is designed specifically to burn fat so you can start to feel great. Order now and we'll rush you Nutrisystem for Men, plus 1 week of protein-packed probiotic shakes to bust that gut free.
I'm healthy and in the best shape of my life.
Act now. Buy 1 month, get 1 free.
What do you have to lose? I know, the weight.
Go online or call 888-512-FIT9 right now. Buy 1 month, get 1 free.
My hair loss was a reminder of my age. When I started first seeing results, I got excited. It makes me feel younger. The things I love about Roman are the simplicity, the confidentiality, and the fact that it works.
This is Fracture. Just upload an image, place your order, and it'll show up at your door, beautifully printed directly on glass. And this isn't just another frame, not just another canvas. This is new. This is a Fracture. Visit FractureMe.com and print one today.
Just over 14 minutes to play here at Thompson Bowling Arena. The Gamecocks enjoying their largest lead of 7, 38-31 the score here as we go around the SEC. Kentucky remains unblemished in conference play with a win over Alabama, 76-67. I just had Auburn on Wednesday. I'm going to tell you, there's not a better team in this league than Bruce Pearl's squad. They lost a lot from that Final Four team, Pat, but boy, they are awfully strong this year. Okoro, one of the top freshmen in college basketball. Arkansas, Ole Miss later on tonight. Mississippi State at LSU, Florida at Mizzou. And don't forget, on Wednesday, you'll see the same Gamecock team taking on those Kentucky Wildcats. Wildcats and Gamecocks Wednesday night at 6:30 Eastern right here on the SEC Network. Mike Morgan, Pat Bradley, great to be with you here in Knoxville. Early bird special. Gamecocks looking for their first conference win of the season and leading it by 7. What do you think Rick Barnes is telling his team during the timeout?
Well, I know he wants them to be tough with the ball. A lot of the turnovers that they've had has been lazy passes, and when you're doing that against a team that likes to play out the lane and deny, some of them has been South Carolina just sticking their hand in there and poking it free, and that results in South Carolina going down the other end, fast break buckets.
12 turnovers on Tennessee, and they've been held at 25% from the field. Pass inside, knocked away. Into the hands of Hannibal. Hannibal full throttle all the way. Hammered, and he'll go to the line for a pair. He is built like an NFL running back, and he had a full head of steam to the basket.
Well, that's exactly what you want to do. Attack the rim. When you're in a 2-on-1 situation, you've got to force that one defender to commit to you, then you pass it off. If he isn't committed, I'm talking 2 feet on your side of the rim, he's just got 1 foot. If he's trying to play both, you go straight up to the rim, just like he did. You'll score, get fouled. Now, on the other end for Tennessee, you saw a lot of indecisiveness. You didn't see a lot of player movement, which is key to Rick Barnes' offense. That's when it's working, player movement, ball movement, guys coming off screens tight. You just saw guys standing. Gaines was forced to try to penetrate, and he got into a whole mess of South Carolina jerseys.
Gamecocks are on a 7-0 run. Tennessee in a funk on offense.
Now there's more movement. You could see it now.
McCrary on the reach-in foul.
A lot of what he wants to do is, when there is a high ball screen, have some movement on the weak side so that you can try to have that weak side help be caught up in what they're trying to do with a ball screen.
Fulkerson.
Oh, dangerous.
Hannibal left his feet and had nowhere to go but on top of one Santiago Vescovi. That's the 4th foul on McCrary. No, that's not on McCrary. Oh, it was on Hannibal.
Took a hold of that net. Another example of Tennessee when they're feeling that pressure on the perimeter. Somebody cut to the basket. Vescovi was actually cutting through, realized nobody was guarding him, and just stopped. Wide open.
Vescovi never played in front of a crowd larger than 7,000 people before he wound up joining the Tennessee Volunteers. Now he routinely plays in front of nearly 20,000. Now stop the bleeding for Tennessee. It's back to a 6-point game. Full-court pressure has bothered Carolina a little bit. We'll see how Hannibal handles it here.
I thought early on they had Kotsar in that block, and the art of passing to the post is becoming less common that you see in some players. The ability to get it to a guy going towards the basket. Kotsar had that good position. It was a good screen by Levesque. Good misdirection even, where Kotsar was able to dive to that block. He could have just went over his left shoulder right off the glass. But you got to be able to make the pass, Mike Morgan.
It's a key spot in this game. A little bit back to the bucket, but a block. And out of bounds to Tennessee. It's a key point in this game. And I know we got a lot of time to play, but this has become somewhat of a trend. A.J. Lawson on the bench during a key point in this game.
Yeah, and that's part of what Frank Martin had told us. He's trying to find an identity, a leader, somebody that is going to rise up and even call people out in a timeout and say, it's okay, coach, give me the ball. I'll get us a shot, or I'll defend him.
Who's going to be that alpha male for this team? It was Sindarius Thornwell for years. Open three up top, knocked down. Vescovi hits nothing but net, and it's down to a three-point game. Kotsar, offensive foul.
You could see South Carolina guys just got out of position. Good job by Tennessee forcing Mike Kotsar to make a play off the dribble. We saw him do it earlier. Fulkerson said, I went for that earlier in the game, not going to go for it again. Good job moving his feet, getting in front of Kotsar.
And now, after some shaky possessions, A.J. Lawson will come back into the game. And probably not a moment too soon. Carolina's just looked really out of sorts on offense. 3 turnovers in the last 4 possessions for the Gamecocks. That has left the door wide open for Tennessee. A 3 could tie it here. Ball screen. Inside Fulkerson. Fulkerson goes to work. Left hand. Got to go. Took it right in on the big man, Levesque. 1-point game. Tennessee on a 7-0 run. 18-footer rattles off, tapped around, and finally ripped down by Fulkerson. Vescovi thinking about it, takes it. And a foul on Tennessee, going for the rebound.
Great job by Tennessee being patient. We talked about the ability to be able to run your half-court offense. Vescovi getting it to Fulkerson on the block. Look how he moves to get Hannibal off of Fulkerson. Good job. The up and under a la Kevin McHale.
Promise that you'll never find another like me.
With the Capital One Saver Card, you earn 4% cash back on dining and 4% on entertainment. So when you go out, you cash in. What's in your wallet?
Gatorade Zero. All the electrolytes, zero sugar.
Boom, and I really care what my mom to. Bulldozer, make room. Write that pun for me too.
Ready for more?
Bring it on.
Gatorade Zero. Get more out of zero.
I'm your 70-pound St. Bernard puppy, and my lack of impulse control is about to become your problem.
No, come on. I saw you eating poop earlier. Hey!
My focus is on the road, and that's saving me cash with DriveWise. Who's the dummy now?
Forget Allstate. Where good drivers save 40% for avoiding mayhem, like me.
Sorry! He's a baby!
Guys, it's that time, and nothing's happening. Well, now there's Score from Force Factor to rev your libido and maximize physical response. It's no wonder Walmart offers Score in more locations than any other performance enhancer. Unleash your potential in the bedroom with Score.
South Carolina up 1, but this is what Tennessee's been wanting to do as much as they can. Vescovi probes, finds Fulkerson, but see how he slides to his right. Hannibal cannot double team on Fulkerson. That leaves Fulk with the opportunity in a block he's comfortable with. One-on-one situation. He's strong enough, gets up high. But it's the little things with Vescovi slightly moving, drawing his guy away from that defensive opportunity to dig and create a turnover, which they've done this year. Gets his guy an open shot.
Don't forget tonight, following the Florida-Missouri game, the SEC team will be back to recap a very busy day of SEC games. All 14 teams in action, highlights, analysis, interviews, and more. That's SEC Now tonight at 10:30 Eastern Time. We know Auburn's going to remain in the top 5. First time in 20 years. Bruce Pearl and company have enjoyed that on the Plains. Kentucky with another win in conference play. They'll face South Carolina on Wednesday. Meanwhile, each team in the bonus for the final 11 minutes and change here. Hannibal to the free throw line for a 1-and-1. He has struggled at the line this year. Just 44% coming into this game. Knocks that one down though. Trey Hannibal, Class 4A Co-Player of the Year as a senior in Hartsville, South Carolina. He had a 62-point performance in his final high school game.
Well, you can tell when he's coming downhill, he's strong enough, explosive enough. He's going to be able to get in lane and finish. And Coach Martin has a vision for him as a player to be that point guard that they need to settle things down.
Out of a rough game for the senior. Pass inside at close range. That's a tough one to handle for Kamwa.
I like what Pember's doing because he's taken that aggressiveness of South Carolina, and A.J. Lawson went for that steal. No hesitation. Catch, rip through, attack the basket, attack the paint. Make that aggressiveness of South Carolina's perimeter guys work against them.
Now it's Tennessee having trouble on the inbounds. Shot clock at 9. Again, I mean, you can't make a weak pass in this game because between these two teams, every pass is contested.
Well, they have to get it in their minds if you're Tennessee. Backdoor, replace with the next guy. If nothing else, just to keep those defenders honest.
Fulkerson back in for the Vols.
South Carolina does a good job if the guy does get backdoor cut. The communication is there, and that's what Coach Martin is teaching.
Shot clock at 3. Pond's going to have to make it happen. And he'll draw a foul with 1 on the shot clock.
That was a hard-earned. That's not free throws right there. Those were earned throws, okay? I understand there's no defense on them, but that was a tough possession.
Levesque whistled for the foul. 19 fouls on Carolina. And Pond's at the line, 64% on the year. One of 7 lefties on the roster, rattles the first one home. Pons has always had the body. Looked like a heavyweight boxer the moment he stepped on campus. But now he's got the game to go along with it.
He's improved his three-point shot. You can tell he's shooting with a lot more confidence.
Back to a 1-point game.
Some pressure here. Obviously, nice to get the turnover, but other than that, just forcing South Carolina to start their offense. 22 seconds on the clock, 21 seconds. Guys with a lot of position.
Bryant inside. Air ball. Kotsar saves it. Heads up play by Mike Kotsar to keep Carolina in possession with 14 to shoot. Gamecocks haven't hit a field goal in over 4 minutes.
Yeah, and Kotsar's been the guy that's made big play consistently, whether it's on the glass when they do need a tough bucket.
I mean, he's got to touch it almost every possession, doesn't he?
He has to, because he's a threat to score, we know. But he's also can feel the defense. He knows when that double team is coming. He has an instinct to know when to get rid of the ball when a guy is cut. But, you know, it's almost becoming a game of possessions. I know there's 10 minutes left, but you go back to when he did have an opportunity to catch it on the block.
Bryant on a step back 3. Might be out of his range. Offensive rebound. Hannibal in the trees. No. Bryant, no. Tap around and finally Tennessee rules it in. And a foul on the Gamecocks.
Smallest volunteer was able to rip that one out of the air, got fouled. That is what I love about rebounding guards. Typically, you'll have your guards are your better free throw shooters. Not all the time, but you'd hope, because they're going to be handling the ball a lot more, especially at the end of game situations. If you get one that can hit the glass, defensive glass, be physical. Vescovi, good job sticking his nose in there.
That is the 4th foul on Minaya. Tennessee this half 6 for 6 from the line. Vescovi. Couisnard and Levesque check back in for Carolina.
I didn't jinx him, did I? It was 100% up until
It's been known to happen. He'll settle for 1 for 2. He will be looking out of time.
I don't want anybody blaming me for anything.
Much too late for that. 5 ties, 7 lead changes, and that wakes up the crowd here in Knoxville.
Tennessee has picked up their defense too, getting in lanes, hands active, forcing shots like that.
Bowden. But Lawson lost a shoe and committed the foul before the shot. 2 shots upcoming. It's hard to play defense with 1 shoe, Pat Bradley.
I mean, that is the best plant I've ever seen. I mean, he planted that left foot. It was so good. Look at it. His shoe stood there. I mean, now that's how you know you're cutting on a dime. Isn't that what they call it?
They give the foul to Lawson, not his shoe.
He slipped that thing back on.
3 fouls on Lawson. And if this game continues at the pace and at the foul rate that it has, as Lawson goes back to the bench with both shoes, it could be a game of attrition. We have a lot of players already sitting on 3-4 fouls and a lot of time left in this game.
Well, we haven't seen a great play by Bowden.
Again, trouble on an inbounds pass. I mean, we've seen that really for both teams, just simply struggling to get the ball in bounds.
Well, and both these coaches recognize that they don't have, you know, Jordan Bone on one end. You had Hassani Gravett last year, Jordan Bone for Tennessee. Those 2 guys were able to handle a lot of pressure and still get their offenses in something. Not quite the case yet for either team, so they recognize it. I love to put pressure on. I love it. Because pressure is going to make guys uncomfortable, and then they make mistakes.
Open 3 for Bowden. He was 1 for 12 now from the field. These are shots ordinarily you can rely on Jordan Bowden hitting. Couisnard loads up for 3. He can't connect. Bryant there for the loose change. Tapped around. Game of volleyball. Out of bounds. Gamecock ball.
Two physical teams, tough teams. And you do have a feeling that it's going to come down to, in this game, a tough rebound, a tough defensive stop. Really nobody making any jump shots consistently.
Coach Sarno, another offensive rebound. Inside Couisnard. And Pember is fouled.
Couisnard is going to be thinking about that one for a while, because he had Vescovi on his back. Short-armed it a little bit. Go up, use that backboard.
And then Bryant with a gift. He fouls him 90 feet from the basket. Double bonus the rest of the way for Tennessee. So 2 free throws upcoming for the 6'9" freshman out of Knoxville, Drew Pember.
And when points are so hard to come by, the absolute last thing you want to do, either team, is get a reach-in foul so far from the basket, and you get the highest percentage shot on the floor with a free throw.
Tennessee on a 7-0 run, all 7 points coming from the free throw line. And now a reach-in foul on the other end, so Couisnard will have a 1-and-1.
And that goes for, even though it wasn't 94 feet, it was still in a position where Couisnard wasn't going to turn and fire that. I like the thought of getting out in the passing lane, but you just can't foul in that situation. You've been playing such great defense the last few times down the floor.
That's also the 4th foul on Vescovi. He joins the hit parade of players in foul trouble in this game with over 9 minutes left in regulation.
Well, if it comes down to depth, South Carolina has got great depth. That's one thing.
They play 11 guys.
Yeah, we knew coming into this season South Carolina would have a variety of guys, and Coach Martin's been sort of figuring out who works best with who, but with a game with a lot of foul trouble, that could come into play.
Look at Coach Sart again.
He just finds himself in the right place at the right time.
Couisnard left alone. Bowden into the corner, sets up a 3. 3-point shooting has been rough in this game. 4 for 23 for Tennessee, 2 for 12 for Carolina, and a jump ball. The arrow goes to Tennessee. Another turnover on Carolina.
Couisnard saw the chance to play downhill strong, aggressive. One thing, though, Eve Bonds is an excellent defender. One of the leaders in the SEC in blocked shots.
Yeah, he's averaging 2.5 swats a game. At 2nd in the league. If you take it in on him,
might second guess that.
Yeah, it's just too tough. And now a turnover on Bowden. Bryant, look out. Turnover leads to a Gamecock bucket. It's a 1-point game.
Well, Mike, we've seen this is coming down to taking care of the ball, scoring off of turnovers, get to the free throw line. May not be pretty, but it certainly is effective.
Timeout, Tennessee. A whole lot of steals for this Gamecock defense so far. That is number 9, and Bryant knows how to finish.
Introducing a new podcast, ESPN Daily, hosted by me, Mina Kimes. Go deeper into the stories of the moment. Get the exclusive access and insider perspective that only ESPN can give you. ESPN Daily. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Having dental problems, it affected everything, including my ability to be the best parent I could be. I used to go to these events and I just wanted to sit in the back. As a father, it really hurts. It's your mouth, but you feel bad from head to toe. So when I found Clear Choice, everything changed right there and then.
Our job is to cater to your needs. Our job is to find a solution. After the dental implant procedure, there's a transformation that happens almost immediately. Having us all under one roof really makes it easy for the patient.
I can be that person that I want to be for my son. This is me now, being able to go back out and do all the things that I wouldn't or couldn't do before.
The National Championship Game, presented by AT&T, Monday on ESPN.
Oh, we can't wait for that. Everybody is ready, including the Red Panda. Look, Pat Bradley, that's just chemistry.
That's it.
One of the great pass-catch connections in the history of football. Pat
Not a
Bradley
tight spiral,
and the Red Panda. No, it hardly is. But we got a football here, as a matter of fact, the official 2020 playoff game ball. All right, Monday night.
That's great.
8 o'clock.
Yes.
LSU, Clemson. Who do you like and why?
Well, you got to go with the LSU.
Go
Tigers. Wow, that offense. Listen, it's been a long time since I've seen an offense run so clean and so smooth. It looks like if Joe Burrow had 3 footballs, he could complete 3 passes on any play. That's how wide open everyone is.
I'm going with LSU as well, but I'll tell you this much. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game in the 30s. I don't think either one of these teams is capable of blowing out the other. Clemson can D it up.
No doubt.
Trevor Lawrence is playing out of his mind. I think it's going to be one of the best championship games we have seen, and I'm looking forward to it, my friend. The coverage will begin at 2 o'clock on the SEC Network. Of course, the game will be on ESPN. Cannot wait. It has been, quite frankly, too long a wait.
Yes.
I think offense will be a lot more prevalent than we've seen in this game. 3-ball on the way. It's the freshman, Drew Pember, starting to heat up for Tennessee.
Just when I made the comment about it would be a grinded out, the three-point shot opens everything up. Lot of dribbling right there. That's Tennessee's defense making one guy beat him.
Bryant draws the foul on Tennessee. He'll go to the line for a pair.
And that's just a good job. The ability by Yves Pons to get up in the air. Sometimes that's dangerous, but you saw South Carolina's team suck in. They do such a good job. And Tennessee has had open threes today. They've had opportunities. They just hadn't been able to make them.
You know, I remember doing my first Tennessee game this year back in late November. And I'm watching them shoot around, and I'm seeing this kid who looks like he's 15. I'm like, oh, he must be a high school recruit or something. The kid was Drew Pember. He's a freshman. I mean, I don't know if he shaves yet, but Rick Barnes told me, oh, Mike, he's going to be a good one. Like, we love what we see out of Drew Pember. Offensive rebound, Couisnard on a leaner, tapped around into the hands of Bowden. 4-point lead for the Vols. 3 on the way. Josiah James. Timeout, Carolina.
Well, Tennessee shot 25 threes today, but a lot of them have been uncontested. Just like that in transition. Good job of Joe James getting to his spot where he's comfortable. Good balance. Teammates, everybody know how important just making a couple of jump shots is.
Well, they were 4 of 23 from downtown before the last 2 threes. So Tennessee has stayed with it. You see now 3 of 10 from behind the arc in the second half. As I mentioned, the coverage for the championship game begins at 2 o'clock with Marty and McGee on the SEC Network. Then it's the Feinbaum Show, SEC Nation. The game itself with the LSU radio call, and then the much-awaited, highly analyzed post-game show with highlights, interviews, and complete game breakdown. You're not going to be part of that post-game show.
No. Although they obviously look at these games from every angle, and the post-game shows should be also analyzed in a post-game show.
Yes.
Kind of critique the job that we do.
It's kind of like screen the screener, critique the critiquer.
That's exactly right.
Well, let's critique these two teams right now. Tennessee finally starting to hit some jump shots. What does Carolina have to do to stop the bleeding here?
Well, I think they've done a fantastic job already of defending, although Tennessee has had some open threes, but you can see how South Carolina has defended the three also in the half court. They've gotten steals. Right now, though, it's imperative for South Carolina to have somebody that can get them into an offense, run it through Kotsar. We've seen a lot of success with that, whether it be on the block, a high ball screen with him right here.
Into the lane, stops and then throws up a shot blocked by Pons, and a fortunate break for the Gamecocks off of Tennessee out of bounds, but a forced shot there by Minaya.
Well, and I think both teams have to recognize that in this particular game, with the kind of defense that's being played, with the aggressiveness, you cannot dribble into the lane. It's going to be very difficult. You have to set hard screens, player movement, ball movement. Both coaches preach that. The team that runs hard offense like that gets easier buckets is going to come out with this win.
That was the 5th block shot for Pons. 2 on the shot clock. Kotsar doesn't realize it, and the shot clock goes off.
Again, you see 4 guys standing, 1 guy trying to make a play. At times, it will work. But over the course of a game, it's going to have to come from running your offense.
This game has changed dramatically in the last 5-10 minutes. And now an offensive foul on Tennessee. And it's going to be on Fulkerson, his third.
And those types of plays also, I mean, those are like turnovers. And you have to be so aware of how the game is officiated, setting that high ball screen.
Couisnard all the way. Strong move. And a much-needed bucket for the Gamecocks.
I like his aggressiveness. When he decides to get to the rim, he's prepared to get hit. He understands it's going to be a tough shot he's going to have to make.
Tough pass. And Kotsar a little too aggressive, banging bodies with Pons. He picks up his third foul.
Okay, now catch this. This is like a wide receiver on the sideline. Pons goes up, catches it, and stays in bounds. Watch his feet. That would be right there. Got hit. Now, me and you would have been up at second round. If you can get a shot at his feet, he actually lands in bounds. The body control, the hands to catch it, the foot control, is that even a thing to land in bounds?
You're looking at his feet in bounds. I'm looking how high off the ground his feet were just to catch that pass. It was not a good pass at all. He's up. It looks like about 40 inches here.
He gets hit. Boom. Look at that foot. In bounds. That's a catch. First down.
And he gets the bounce on the second. Couisnard. Kick out pass. This is Moss. Moss, nice move to the glass and in.
That was a great hesitation move. I thought he was going to catch it and shoot that, but he stayed under control. Two guys running at him out of control.
Woo! Fulkerson gave it up. And a strip into the hands of Minaya. Minaya has it poked from behind.
Good dig by Bowden. I don't think I have to say it, do I? Folk smash on that one. John Fulkerson has caught it right there in the blocks. That's great press break.
You want the big man to take that shot.
They got Tennessee, got it to the X, got it to the middle.
Carolina sets it up 4-point game, under 5.5 to play.
A lot of switching going on too with Tennessee's defense. Good hedge out there by Fulkerson.
Couisnard finds an alley and takes it home.
Well, he's been able to get where, when he wanted to get to the rim, he's been able to do it. He's been a difference maker in the second half. Not settling for the three.
13 points for Couisnard.
Zone action here by South Carolina.
5 to shoot. Bowden loads. An off night for Jordan Bowden from outside. Gamecocks can tie it or take the lead with a three. Couisnard again draws the foul on Pember. All of a sudden, Jermaine Couisnard has become option number one.
He has been the difference maker, and you saw the aggressiveness early on in the second half. Realizes, he said, Pember can't stay in front of me, coach. I'm going to attack. And I wouldn't be surprised if the entire South Carolina bench that was behind him was like, take it to the hole, take it to the hole. Fortunate enough that there was not much help defense in Tennessee, to where when he got in the lane, it was only him in the rim.
This is where free throw shooting obviously going to be a huge factor in the final 4 and change in this game. And the Gamecocks have struggled all year long. From the line, there's an empty trip. 2 bricks fired up by the freshman.
You know, because when I was playing defense on the sidelines in front of the opposing team's bench, I could hear what they were saying. Take him to the hole. That was usually me playing defense.
You made up for it on the other end.
Oh, yeah.
You dropped a few here in Thompson Bowling back in the day.
That's it. Run back down the end of the floor. Too late. Hands up. Too late.
Bowden on another three. cannot buy it. And then Cousineau just knocks it out of bounds. Bryant will check in. Cousineau will get a breather.
And I believe every miss has been front rim.
And I don't think I've ever seen Jordan Bowden with a worse day. 1 for 14 overall, 1 for 10 from 3.
Right. You know, he's still given obviously a lot on the defensive end, and he's a threat out there.
In the corner, wide open 3 for Bonds. Maya reels in the board, and then throws it away, and then blocks the shot by James. Lawson all the way. Lawson missed the dunk.
Speechless, partner. Speechless.
Caribbean Jerk boneless wings are back with a blend of mango, habanero, and exotic island spices. And introducing the Caribbean Jerk sandwich meal with banana peppers and Caribbean Jerk sauce. Caribbean Jerk boneless wings and new filet sandwich meal. 2 more reasons you'll get a kick out of Zaxby's.
We know we'll have enough retirement money to survive.
But we want to thrive.
Yeah, maybe we won't always want the early bird special.
Who eats dinner at 4:30 in the afternoon?
So we got a plan.
Get your free retirement planner or talk to an advisor. Personal Capital.
If there was an official shoe of America, it'd be the cowboy boot. The cowboy boot isn't just one thing to a chosen few. They go to work wherever you do. They have an opinion and grit. They handsome up a room and stand with confidence in every moment they get. More simply put, America, cowboy boots are ready for what's next. So you can be too. Find your pair at Tecovas.com. Western goods for new frontiers.
Coming up after the conclusion of this game, we'll take you to A&M Vanderbilt. That is Aaron Nesmith. He is out indefinitely, will not be playing today due to a stress fracture in his foot. 6 weeks of non-weight bearing. He's going to be on a scooter. We'll talk this game at the conclusion of Tennessee, South Carolina.
Wow, Alyssa, that is huge news, not only for today, but for a while for Jerry Stackhouse and company. Meanwhile, 2 teams really needing a victory today. We've had 8 lead changes, 5 ties. Tennessee's had the blocks. Carolina's had the steals. Kotsar has been terrific per usual. Tennessee couldn't buy a bucket in much of the first 25, 30 minutes of this game. Then all of a sudden heated up. And then Carolina came storming back. Looks like we're coming down to the wire, my friend.
Yes, it is. And Tennessee, their ability to make some shots. And it's South Carolina's defense has been so tough. They hadn't allowed anything in the paint. And Tennessee has made a living this year when they were able to get some buckets in the paint, as most teams are. Tennessee's an above 30% three-point shooting team. So you knew at some point somebody would step up and make some. And they have. But on South Carolina's end, it's got to be continued movement. You cannot try to go one-on-one. Sometimes, if you just don't have those kinds of players, you're getting your team into tough situations.
Now, we talked about the free throws, and again, Tennessee, one of the best shooting teams in the league at 74%. Carolina dead last at 62, and if Gamecocks wind up losing this game, no doubt that'll be circled on the stat sheet.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Free throws, layups, dunks. The key in open jump shots, the key is how do we get those high percentage shots and how do we prevent those high percentage shots?
You saw Lawson miss that dunk on the last possession. He's got 2 points on 0 for 6 from the field for the game.
Well, that would have been a very spectacular 2 points. Oh, what a split of that double team.
Tennessee showing patience in the half court. Fulkerson finds Bowden on the drive. No. Fulkerson on a 2-hand follow. 15 points for John Fulkerson.
Jordan Bowden finally backdoor cut right there. Good pass by Fulkerson. Missed him.
Lawson on a 3. Still can't buy one. Fulkerson on the rejection. Who is that headband man?
2 big plays on both ends of the floor. He can do that, though.
Pons on a blow by. Offensive foul. Great job by Kotsar on the position.
all started with that backdoor cut by Jordan Bowden on Keyshawn Bryant. Throw it up on the rim. It's a great follow. Fulkerson, strong, aggressive. He's been doing that since his freshman year. Just runs to the front of the rim, and he's getting everything. Tipping it back, bringing it down. Physical player.
You saw Kotsar rotate on the help as he should, but then nobody helped him to box out Fulkerson. And there's no one. That is a free path right to the basket. Now here we go, under 3 minutes to play. 4-point game. Tennessee on top. Couisnard all the way. Couisnard taking over in this second half for Carolina offensively. He's got 15.
Well, we talked about how many people Frank Martin has used at the point guard position. Couisnard has shown himself to be the most effective, decisive.
Turnover. Gamecocks in transition. Couisnard to Moss. Blind pass. Manoia has it rejected. James on Kotsar. No. Into the hands of Manoia. Another chance for Carolina to take the lead on a three.
I know the ball hadn't gone in much, but it's been some spectacular misses, some spectacular turnovers.
Well, you just kind of hold your breath on every drive to the basket because we've had so many blocks, we've had so many steals, we've had missed dunks, we've had hard fouls. You can't have an entertaining game without a great shooting day, and neither team has enjoyed a great shooting day, that's for sure.
Well, unfortunately, Tennessee got the ball on the sideline for a turnover, but Fulkerson there again just gobbling up anything. If you bring it weak, if you don't bring that strong, welcome the contact. Return to sender, sir.
Tennessee has blocked 11 shots. Carolina has blocked 8. All right, take me into the huddle for Frank Martin. Offensively, Couisnard has been the only guy who's been consistently good on offense.
Mike, and I hope we see it. I hope we see it. Couisnard, high ball screen with Kotsar. But Kotsar has been diving to the block, and they have been a second too late, or they've been just a little bit scared to throw it to him because he's been there twice in this half. And good things happen when you get him the ball on the block. He's going to score, go to the free throw line, or he's going to attract defense and kick it out to a shooter.
Does the ball screen come? No. Couisnard takes it all the way. Kotsar is there, can't hold on. Tennessee with numbers, 3 on 2. Bowden defers, 3 on the way. No, Pons grabs it. And Tennessee will take its time. Under 90 seconds remaining. And a reach-in foul on Bryant.
Tough mistake.
Don't need it. And that's 4 on Bryant.
Well, it looked like that they were trying to send Vescovi back to the sideline. Was able to just get a step outside of TJ Moss. And now you go from Tennessee having a score with a short clock to getting on the free throw line with a pretty good free throw shooter.
He's only missed 1 free throw all year. Vescovi with 12 points now on the day.
The luxury, though, of having a point guard who can slow things down for you, get in offense, and can get to the free throw line, late game situations, and make them.
I think this game has tested the patience of both these coaches, quite frankly. Vescovi gets a friendly bounce on the second 2-possession game. You need some points on this possession badly if you're Carolina. Lawson. Nice pass to Kotsar, and he's fouled from behind.
Great job. Frank Martin called that out late. Good job by Couisnard to maintain his balance, come off that screen. Great screen by Kotsar to Lawson. And when you have execution like that, you have 2 options. Lawson could have shot that 3, top of the key, wouldn't have been a bad shot. Or then, because of the great screen and quick roll by Kotsar, he's able to drop it down to him for, now it's 2 free throws.
We have our first casualty of the game. Josiah James has fouled out. Coats are just 57% on the year from the line. 17-point game for the senior.
Now let's see what kind of pressure South Carolina will put on Tennessee. They still go full court.
1 minute remaining, 3-point game.
No foul necessary. Play honest defense. Don't reach. Don't put them on the free throw line. Good job, though. Vescovi probing, under control.
Cannot foul here. Shot clock under 8. Vescovi. Late clock situation. Lawson on the steal. Lawson going to take it all the way. Lawson, no. The foul will not count. Foul called on the shot. That's probably a good thing for Tennessee, as the Gamecocks had a couple of rebounders there to stick it back in.
Well, I'd imagine if Vescovi had it all over again, as you see right there, Lawson doing what he does best, getting to the rim in transition. He probably would have wanted to get into an offense a little bit earlier than 7 seconds left, although it was a one-on-one against a big guy, but Kotsar moves his feet really well at the perimeter.
This is one of the few good free throw shooters on the team. A.J. Lawson, 77%. 3 for 3 today.
But, you know, for Tennessee, that was worst case scenario. You turn it over in a live ball situation.
Right.
South Carolina comes back, stops the clock, gets the free throw line, 2 points.
And Lawson calmly knocks him down. It is a 1-point game, 36. So you can play it straight out here. You don't have to foul.
And I hope they don't.
Lawson pounding Bowden. Let's see what Tennessee elects to do. A lot of dribbling.
Right about now should initiate some kind of offense.
Bowden gets a ball screen. Bowden going to launch a contested 3. Red City. I would almost bet it's final 2 minutes. You saw the baseline referee kind of put up his hands like, I don't know. Final 2 minutes of the game, this would probably, and it will be reviewed.
And it, well,
wow.
You knew South Carolina was out of bounds there. Right there, you have South Carolina out of bounds. So if he touches, it's automatically out, even if Fulkerson's hand touches it after, correct?
Correct. Now does Fulkerson.
So who was that? Was that?
I can't tell whose hand.
Well, if that was Kuznard or South Carolina, I couldn't tell the number on the jersey. The second his left foot is out of bounds and he touches the ball, that's it.
And again, this year, not only do we have replay in the SEC, but we also have the angles controlled back in Birmingham, which makes it much easier on the officials. They don't have to search for the proper angle. The SEC continues to be at the forefront of technology and on replay. So while we see the officials huddled by the monitors, the guys back in Birmingham are providing the best angles imaginable.
Well then, yeah. Why are we working so hard trying to figure out? They've got
I gave up on it already. Trust me. I mean, you want me to tell? That's Kuznard there.
Right.
He's clearly out of bounds. And my guess is they would not overturn this. You'd have to have indisputable video evidence to change it from Tennessee ball.
Because you do see Fulkerson's hand in there. Thank goodness I'm not making the decision.
That is
the smart guys in.
That's one on the playground where somebody shoots it from 3 to see who gets the ball.
Well, you buck it up.
Yeah.
The old school buck it up. Well, we will look at this. 10 seconds left. If it is South Carolina's ball, you're going to assume that Tennessee would put some sort of pressure, token pressure. Obviously, don't want to get in a situation where Kuznard or A.J. Lawson could come downhill on you straight to the rim.
If it's Tennessee's ball, there's 4 on the shot clock. Keep that in mind, a 6-second differential.
And think of this, how well South Carolina has defended the under the basket out of bounds plays. how quick they've been in reaction time, getting in passing lanes. So just getting the ball inbounds for Tennessee will be a challenge.
Tennessee does have 1 timeout remaining. Each team has 1 timeout remaining. The ball does stay with Tennessee. And again, if you're Carolina, you do not have to foul here. Shot clock is at 4.
I like how Tennessee's got 4 guys outside the 3-point line.
And Tennessee will use its final timeout. Or maybe they won't. Maybe they're going back to the review monitor. They might be checking the game clock. They've already said Tennessee ball. It might be checking where the game clock should be. Every second, of course, precious at this point. Getting some explanation here from Patrick Evans.
Coach Martin looks...
Okay, just got word from Patrick Evans. They're checking to see if the ball hit the rim. That is a huge call here, because if it did, then obviously the shot clock goes back to 20. Then Tennessee, for Carolina, you'd have to foul there. Now Joe Lindsey coming over.
Okay. No rim.
Joe Lindsey telling us they confirmed from Birmingham the ball did not hit the rim. Did not hit the rim. You see the replay there, just hit the backboard. So 4 seconds on the shot clock. Tennessee almost throw it away. And almost threw it away twice. Does Carolina call a timeout? No. Here comes Lawson. Contact and a foul on... Offensive foul called on Lawson. Fulkerson drew it.
A.J. Lawson is where he's most comfortable in transition. Frank Martin doesn't call a timeout, trusts his team.
And now a timeout for Tennessee. Gamecocks electing not to call a timeout. And Lawson decided to take it all the way.
Now, did you think that this game would come to a close or close to it in anything other than that type of a play?
No, either a steal, block, or a foul is probably what we all should have been anticipating here.
Well, you know, and what you're looking at, obviously, is Fulkerson is anticipating, makes a good move, jumps to his right, anticipates Lawson going from right to left. The question is, in that situation, is he out of control?
Now the other question is that the look you want on the final possession? I mean, you've got some time there.
I would think A.J. Lawson's so good at in transition. That particular play right there is what he's been so good at.
Right.
And I think it was a better defensive play by Fulkerson.
Right.
Because it is not easy to stay in front of A.J. Lawson. Now, the thing that Fulkerson had going for him, and I'd love to know this, if he could see the clock on the other end of the floor, because A.J. Lawson typically would not pick up his dribble at the three-point line to do a Euro step about 16 feet away from the basket.
Right.
That was because there's 1 point forward. He could see that. I wonder if Fulkerson sort of processed it so quickly to know, hey, there's 2 seconds left. He can only do one thing. And then stepped in and took that charge.
Keep in mind, Tennessee has had trouble inbounding the basketball all game long. They have no timeouts remaining. Coach Sarr will guard the inbounder Pember. And baseball pass, and it will be touched and time will elapse. Tennessee holds on to win it by 1 point. 56-55 your final. A 5th consecutive win over the Gamecocks for Tennessee, and our player of the game brought to you by Zaxby's. How about John Fulkerson offensively on the glass, and then of course the defensive play to end the game?
Well, he is so energetic, physical, that he can make plays all over the floor. We've seen him get on the offensive glass, defensive glass, and we saw him make a play. A defensive guy will not usually get that call at the end of a game, taking a charge as the winning play. How about that? How often do you see a charge call to win the game?
Tennessee wins at 56-55 as we will send it to studio. Take it away.